Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to the channel. In today's video, I'm going to be covering a topic that is pretty old, but a very important topic that I have not covered yet, and I have gotten some questions about it. Earlier this month, I think it was March 7th, DICE released their first ever Battlefield Labs article detailing the design philosophy for the next Battlefield game's gunplay and movement. According to them, this is the first post of many that will cover many different topics within Battlefield Labs and the next Battlefield game. And truth be told, I think this is an amazing initiative from them because it gives us a sense of transparency that we rarely see from EA and DICE, and I really hope they continue to do it. So before we get into the content, I'm going to be uploading short form content regularly now, ladies and gentlemen. I have someone helping me with that. So if you're not following me on TikTok, follow me on TikTok. Link will be first, link in the description. I'm going to be pushing this a little bit because I never really have ever talked about it. And of course, if you enjoy the content, be sure to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. We're almost at 80,000 subs. Thank you guys so much for that. That's incredible. And if you have never come by a stream, I stream every single day at twitch.tv/enders and this YouTube channel. Now then, on to this article from DICE. As we all understand, the gunplay and movement for Battlefield games make up the gameplay of Battlefield games, so naturally they're incredibly important. I'm fully aware that we've already seen many leaks of actual gameplay, but honestly it can be hard to determine what the gunplay actually feels like from just looking at it, and it's always great to hear the intentions from the developers behind these very important systems anyway. They start out this article by stating that, quote, they're focused on refining the best elements from past titles, modernizing them, and validating if they feel fun and rewarding and have the right balance between intuitive control and dynamic combat. DICE goes on to state that one of their key design elements is making sure the combat experience is enjoyable for players of all skill levels and that the gunplay and movement systems reward skill. One of the things they really want to emphasize is making sure the weapons, quote, naturally signal their recoil direction. So, for instance, some weapons in Battlefield have had visual recoil, which does not represent the actual recoil of the weapon. It's just sort of shaking visually, and it can be very confusing to the player, which is why it was removed in Battlefield 4. And hopefully this sentence actually means that there won't be any visual recoil in the next Battlefield game. I've never been a fan of it. I think you can get the point across with gunplay without visual recoil. All you have to do is make sure the animations for firing the weapons are actually very high quality, so you still get the feel that you're firing a firearm, but you can still see the recoil and it's still readable, and all these other little nuances. After that little description at the beginning there, they then try to describe to us what is new and improved for the gunplay and movement in this Battlefield Labs play session, which all of these leaks that we've been seeing are from these play sessions regarding these things they're going to detail here. Interestingly enough, one of the things they state up front is they've, quote, reduced the time it takes for bullets to appear on your screen from when you press fire. This change decreases input delay, makes shooting feel more responsive, and helps you better track and hit moving targets. And honestly, I'm a little bit confused as to what they exactly mean by this. Do they mean bullets appear as in you can see where you're shooting via tracers from the bullets a little easier? Because if that's what they mean, then yeah, that does make sense, and I would not have a problem with that change. A very important thing they mentioned after this is they're optimizing Battlefield Labs and the next Battlefield game for 60 tick rate servers. This is huge, okay? This affects basically the entire gameplay, okay? Battlefield 2042 actually regressed, and I think in Battlefield 2042 we're playing on 45 tick rate servers when Battlefield 5, the game before Battlefield 2042, had 60 tick servers. So 60 tick servers are very, very welcome, and we should have never left them behind in the first place. Another huge focus they detail here is making sure they adjusted the recoil system for each different weapon type. So each different weapon type has a unique feel when firing them, whether it be recoil or the way the camera looks while firing them. This is super important, especially after Battlefield 2042, where many players critiqued that game for just feeling dead. Like there was no soul to any of the weapons. They sounded bad. They looked stupid to shoot. And it just was overall a depressing experience. One very interesting thing they mention here near the end of this paragraph is, quote, the weapon visually stabilizes the more accurate your handling is, making you feel like you're actually firing and controlling it. Again, I don't really know what this means. Does it mean the better you control recoil, the more stable your weapon is? Because if that's the case, well, yeah, of course that would happen. But the other thing this could mean is maybe attachments have different stats similar to Delta Force. Like, for instance, you equip a grip and you get like +4 handling and +2 stability. And the more stability you have or the more handling you have affects how your weapon performs. Maybe that's what they mean by this. I'll definitely be keeping a close eye in the comment section for this video. I want to know what you guys think about this post and what they're saying so far, so let me know your thoughts for sure. But moving on to a brief bit about the movement system. Quote, to evolve the movement system, we've revamped animations and reintroduced movement features such as crouch sprinting, combat dive, and landing roll, and added visual indicators to make it easy to understand when movements, such as vaulting or leaning, are possible. I don't think there's much to go over here. I think all of these things are incredibly positive, and I welcome them. Then the very last bit of this article regards the feedback and validation. They remind us that Battlefield Labs is in pre-alpha, and the play sessions will take place in, fairly infrequently in a closed environment, and a lot of them are going to be small play tests, and they're going to open up the play test to more players eventually. Then they give us this list of things that they're going to be focused on. Top of the list is the feel of different weapon archetypes, improvement to aim and control, weapon balance and fun factor, look and feel of movement regarding animations specifically, which is huge to the way movement is, moving and interacting with the map, and combat pacing. One funny thing that I want to point out here is they specifically mentioned improvements to aim and control. Let's hope that improvements to aim means that the mouse input and the overall feel of aiming in the next game returns to normalcy, meaning that it isn't bugged and completely fucked like it was in Battlefield 2042. Something that I will never get over and never stop complaining about, because how can you possibly release an FPS game with aiming that feels horrible? It just doesn't make any sense, does it? But overall, I think this very transparent article DICE has provided to us is great. I really love all the things they're focusing on. I really enjoy Battlefield Labs as a concept, and I wish the best for the game. This is the very first time where I don't feel complete and utter despair when it comes to the next Battlefield game. I'm not like 100% certain that it's going to be successful, don't get me wrong, but I'm at least not dreading the worst. I do think this next Battlefield game is probably already better than Battlefield 2042. It certainly already has a better reception than Battlefield 2042. Interestingly enough, before the next game even releases, and I think that is in large part to Battlefield Labs and the playtesting. So let me know your thoughts on all this stuff, ladies and gentlemen. If you enjoy the content, be sure to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and follow me on TikTok. I'm going to be posting YouTube Shorts and TikToks on the daily now. I've been neglecting short-form content. Let me know what type of shorts you'd be interested in. I am open to anything and everything. I can do little weapon builds. I can do whatever you guys ask for. So thank you guys so much for watching. I really do appreciate it, and I'm going to see you guys in the next video. Goodbye.